keep this close.
Hello, everybody. Guess who's back? So, I have not been recording. I've been playing, and so yeah. My thing is, I really just I have been paying attention, kind of deal, and life has been super busy. Oh. Oh. Why, hello. Okay, so don't. So, yeah, I figured it out.
I'll keep this close.
And what did I just pick up? So yeah, I have not been recording, so I'm like super ahead. And yeah, I really haven't like at all pay attention kind of deal. So yeah, a lot of you have probably missed some of my reactions to certain things, which is okay. Trust me, everything is fine. Everything is Dory. I feel like a complete idiot when I realized that I forgot to record. But I'm now playing the game and recording. Hopefully it's recording, because I feel really bad if I did all this and I'm not even recording. Bear with me. And like, part of me is trying not to panic. The sheer thought of me forgetting to record. But I have learned not to panic, because if I panic, it will only lead to not so good things. Okay, where am I supposed to be taking you? Oh, counselor. Oh, is it gonna do a thing? Oh my god, please say it's gonna do a thing. Please say it's gonna do a thing. Yes, it did a thing!
Is this an answer from this world?
I thought I was gonna smack the dude in the face. Oh, me and my stupidity in that.
Let's do this thing!
Oh, okay, you are nothing important. Leave me alone. Okay, seems right here. Hold that thought, Paimon. I am trying to figure this crap out. Maybe I'm not. Wait, hold on, time out. No, I don't have enough. Oh my god, this is so horrible. Make it stop. No, stop it. Okay. I really don't know what that did. That's. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's Connor!
Open fire! Open fire! Open fire! Locked on! Let's go, Squirrely! Drilling down!
do I need to... Oh. Whee! Even better with a chest. Where did the chest go? Oh, that was a shitty move.
Picked the wrong test subject.
Is that all of them? Oh, there they are.
Water jet!
Such a pain.
Oh, wait a minute. Where did that... Oh. Let's go that way. Meow. Oh, tell me how you truly feel, Toothless. My outside cat's like meowing at me. Now I'm getting stared at. Whoop, my bad.
A good newspaper should be a lighthouse of truth.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you're back. Huh? And you've got the Traveler and Paimon with you too.
What a pleasant surprise. I assume you'll be joining us for the game then?
You're back.
Winnie, Farina! Paimon didn't know you were playing too. Are you also members of the tabletop troupe?
I'm more of a casual member, if anything. I haven't taken part in many formal club activities. Lynette Fremine and I play something similar at the Hotel Bouffe Tété sometimes, but I'm usually the GM.
Why do I get the feeling this is a D&D reference in some forms? Oh, I love it.
Still, I'm sure it'll be fun being a player for the first time. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm not a member of the club at all. Claran simply woke me up first thing this morning, said there was a good script worth experiencing, and asked if I wanted in.
Oh, hush, Brianna. Ah, I haven't her name right the first time. Come on.
If you're interested, I can give you a referral. That should give you a 40% discount on membership fees.
I think I'll wait to see how this experience plays out first, especially when it comes to the quality of the script. If it's sufficiently fun, then I'll join.
Do you participate in a lot of tabletop troupe activities?
You could say that. She's actually one of the few senior game masters.
Ah, right. I knew about that even when she was still my subordinate.
Wow. Paimon's so used to seeing you be all upstanding and intimidating as the champion duelist. It's kind of hard to imagine you broke...
Surely, I maintain a clear boundary, but in my personal life, I'm just an ordinary person. Someone who feels anger and sadness, just like everyone else.
Well, you say that, but for all the time I've known you, I don't think I've ever seen you cry. I've seen you get angry, sure, but now I'm wondering whether you were actually mad or if it just looked that way from the outside.
I was probably in work mode during those times.
Is that so? Well, in any...
So you want to...
I'm back. Here, allow me to introduce you to...
Pleasure to meet you all.
Hello? Wait, are you a champion duelist too, Mr.
Oh, no. This is just the costume provided by the club. I occasionally play a few of the roles.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It's nothing. It's the least we can do to give the players a more immersive... Anyway, allow me to give you a brief introduction of the script. This script was adapted from the real history of the Marushose hunters.
Paimon?
Oh, no problem at all. I can give you a brief rundown. So, basically, Marushose hunters were people who dedicated themselves to hunting. Their story can be traced back, but I'll leave the finer details for you.
And...
In that case...
Whoa, just...
Aha! I see many a determined gaze before me. Very well. Head over to this location and begin your heroic journey.
So, as we follow the story, it leads us to specific...
It's the exact location of the scene, as well as the formal permission to use the venue. Please check all your belongings, everyone, and make sure you haven't forgotten anything. Once you're ready, please follow me to the designated location.
Sounds good. Hunters...
Where am I going?
Whoa, they really have thought of everything. Even the Fatometer is here and ready to go for us.
The Fatometer.
It's a card that's used to determine action success or failure. We'll need to use it when we try to use certain skills.
And what about all the dessert and tea? Is that for us as well? That's what the message said.
Really? That's so nice.
Those snacks have Paimon's name written.
I think you might be more of a snack hunter than a Marashose hunter, Paimon.
Snack hunter Paimon reported for duty. If there are delicious snacks to be found, Paimon will track down every last one.
The desserts are great. But
Very First, please pick up the blank character cards in front of you and write down your name and profession. You can find an abbreviated version of in this story. Everyone is a Marashose.
Ooh, nice.
As hunters, you have proficiency in swordsmanship and fighting by default, so there's no need to allocate any additional skill points to those areas.
Swordsmanship? So there's a fighting part to all of this?
Why don't you share a character card then?
so, for the name, do I fill it out with an...
Yep. It can be any.
You can use your real name too if you want. I do that whenever I get too lazy to think of a new name.
Oh, so it would be like experiencing a different life, but still as...
In that case, I think I'll continue to use the name Linny then.
Next up is the skill sheet.
I'll take...
Oh, those skills.
So, should we...
Not necessarily. Since we're working together as a team, we could leave the negotiations to Navia and use our skill points to pick up, for example, I think I'll take stealth and sleight of hand.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I suppose it's not so different from an acting troupe. Let me see. I'll take... art.
Well, that leaves us. What do you want to learn, traveler? Ha! Gotta say, this suits you. Oh, something that'll help you get a read on other people's thoughts. Sounds useful. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn these two skills? Sure, what do you want to learn? Ooh, so you want to help people when they're injured. Oh, something that'll help you get a read on other people's thoughts. Sounds useful. So what do you think? Are you sure you want to learn?
Let's see. Oh, looks like you each have enough points to choose one final skill.
You've all picked such classic skills.
Why do I get the feeling she's getting ready to cause trouble?
For example, this one here. Summon. Doesn't it sound super mysterious and cool?
Oh, I saw that one just now as well. The description says, this skill can be used under certain circumstances to summon characters or creatures that...
The script's world-building rules, huh?
Oh, that's not for us to worry about, my friend.
All right, you've convinced me.
Well, now that everyone's since 2 of our players are doing this for the first time, though, let me ask. Would you like to play on easy mode or authentic mode?
What's the difference?
Well, in role-playing games, the story sometimes changes based on the decisions of the players and the results of the Fatometer. For example, if you fail a check, that means you cannot use the target skill in that scenario. A critical, if you choose to play in authentic mode, every time you elect to use a skill, you'll need to use the Fatometer to see whether you succeed or fail, and face any if you choose easy mode instead, every check will be successful by default, and you won't have to worry about luck playing a factor.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Given that I'd like to focus on the story, I suppose I should pick easy mode. I'd feel bad if I brought the team down by failing my checks.
Huh? Oh, come on. Don't worry, never knowing what you might have to overcome.
I'd rather be mentally prepared.
All right, then I'll mark down Farina for easy mode. All her checks will be successful by default. As usual, Navia and Linny will play on authentic.
What about you, dear partner? How would you like to play?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No need to worry about the pesky Fatometer. Pretty good choice if you just want to relax and play the game.
Honestly, I don't think Clorand would make things too difficult for us, no matter what the Fatometer says.
No promises.
That wasn't super real.
Well, anyway, enough talk.
Speaking of the story, why is the beginning scene on a beach?
Well, that's because a long time ago, back when human civilization was
What
still
the
in its infancy, soon a group of human...
No, don't tell
Sometime
me.
later, as a member of the Marachose Hunters, you receive a commission. As you inhale, you can... your eyes meet. And
You're all Marsha. What say you to traveling together? We can help each other.
Okay, count me in.
Oh my gosh, I love
My
it.
name is Linny.
Is this where you My name is Farina, and
Hey, that's really cool. You can do it, Farina.
Paimon is Paimon, a good friend, and
I've been studying medicine ever since I was a child.
Oh, welcome, welcome. When we face the monsters, I'll make sure to charge in front to give everyone some cover. You can take care of the healing.
you open your envelopes at the same time. The message to the honorable and trustworthy Marachose Hunters. Our kingdom is currently facing a grave crisis. The lands outside the capital have been overtaken by monsters, and our people are being led astray by forces of wickedness. We beseech you, please help us resolve the...
the layout of this city looks super familiar.
The scriptwriter must have used a real-world city as a reference when coming up with the map.
As experienced hunters, the layout of the city reminds you of places once traveled. You recall the sight of tree-lined streets and the gentle tranquility of days gone by. Yet, as you regard the city in front of you, it appears to be little...
I carefully read every line of the letter and turn my attention to the signatures at the bottom. Who issued...
You see a long string of unfamiliar names. It...
Oh, good idea.
You look up and see a tavern nearby. It appears to be open for the day.
why don't we go check out that tavern?
As you approach the tavern, you find a plainly dressed woman standing nearby. She appears to be rather troubled about something.
Greetings, friend. Lovely weather we're having today, don't you think?
Oh, hello. I suppose you're right.
It seems like every character included in the script has a certain amount of useful information to offer. If we keep asking questions...
Oh, come now, don't be...
I don't think that's the kind of question we're supposed to ask.
Nothing turns a frown upside down like good food. How about some macarons? I could make you some.
You didn't even take cooking as one of your skill proficiencies.
That's... So you're someone who barely smiles? Hey! Did she just... me?
Cloran must have broke character for a second.
This isn't getting us anywhere.
The results of insight checks aren't disclosed to the players, so I'll be the one consulting the fate. You recall all the lessons you've learned in your time. You notice that when she's quiet, she has an empty look in her eyes, as if her thoughts have drifted to a place far... so you noticed... A horde of monsters suddenly appeared near the...
Do you remember when those monsters...
I'm not complete.
Do you know where?
It all happened so fast.
You have our thanks for...
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry. We'll find him. We don't always get to choose what happens.
I'll do my best.
My bad. My bad. Don't do
You
anything.
bid farewell to the woman and continue your journey further into the city. As you venture further into the city, the streets appear largely empty. An elderly woman walks past. You see her shake her head as she puts away her wrinkled wallet. A nearby merchant folds his arms and gives you a disdainful look. You get the impression that he's someone who has long gotten used to the sight before him.
Although he doesn't seem very...
Pardon me, sir.
That depends. How much are you willing to pay?
How about...
What do you take me?
Surely an
What do you know?
Whoa, what a nasty guy.
But he still might have information we need. Traveler, can you think of something?
A performance? I've never played a role. By the harbor's grace, in the dark of shadow, our heroes seek blood. The road does...
But if you meant those monsters are camp, we have limited reserve.
Wait, you're saying no one has put a plan in place?
Who knows?
That is concerning.
Yeah, all right. I think I've said more than enough. Beyond.
Got it.
Don't mind him, Farina. He just doesn't have...
No, I was just thinking about how those nobles must be so cold-hearted. It's like they don't care.
Should we try to go somewhere with more people?
Oh, how about the city square? Follow me.
Before you lies the city's central square. You see a man with a slightly anxious look on his face, pacing back and forth, his head hanging low. He doesn't seem to notice your approach.
This guy seems promising enough. Hello, sir. Is there...
Wait. Oh, dear goodness!
You recognize us?
Yes, yes!
What happened?
Alas. However,
Are there not enough? It's not a question. Most people my age have never even seen one of the monsters, much less been trained to fight against them. When I was a child, though, to be perfect. Well, you can rest.
the man is touched by your determination and resolve.
Still, if we are going to hunt...
Although,
I see.
all right, they're actively working even one of our kind to
Talk about being stuck between a rock.
I feel bad for him. Maybe we should try to cheer him up?
Huh? Like...
I appreciate brave hunters.
If I understood correctly, there are currently 2 problems in the kingdom that need solving, right?
Exactly. We need to defeat the monsters outside the city and take down the evil sorcerer stirring up trouble from within.
But which problem should we tackle first?
Well, this seems like a good moment for a break. Take some time and discuss what you want to do. Let me know when you've made your decision.
I really didn't expect the people in the city to keep us at arm's length like that. I totally thought the hunters would be treated like heroes.
Well, Clarence said the script took cues from the real history of Fontaine, right? Maybe the real-life Marushosei hunters were also treated like that.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect representation of history, but there are definitely some similarities. Would you like to hear more about it?
Sure. As long as it doesn't spoil anything in the script. You brought up bits and pieces of the hunter's history before, but it was all in passing.
Paimon wants to know too! The hunters were super powerful, right? Were they all from a special line of supernatural beings or something? Kind of like the yokai in Inazuma?
No. All Marashosei hunters were ordinary mortal fighters. The only thing that set them apart were the special sword techniques passed down over the centuries.
Huh? So you mean anyone could become a Marushosei hunter?
In theory, yes. All you would need to do is survive the rigorous training and master the swordsmanship techniques required to fight the monsters. Still, most people dropped out at the early stages, and others called it quits the minute they saw a monster in person. To become a hunter, you must be strong in both body and mind.
What kind of monsters did the hunters fight exactly? Oh, and the evil sorcerer the script mentions. Did they exist in real life too?
The land of Fontaine once played host to an ancient dynasty known as Remuria. After that dynasty fell, monsters began to appear, intent on obstructing humans from establishing a new social order. One of the ancient sorcerers of Remuria used his power to assemble a formidable army of golems. He sought to use that force to establish himself as king.
Now wait a second. Don't tell me that guy was the inspiration for the evil sorcerer in the script. We still haven't found any in-game information on him yet. So, why don't you talk about someone else for now?
Well, I wasn't planning on going into anything you might be able to find out in the game. But if you want me to talk about something else, then... how about Casiodor, the Golden Hunter? Or Egeria, the ex-Hydro Archon?
Wait, but those people are all from a super long time ago. When did you learn all this, Claran?
From my master.
By master, you mean Miss Petronia?
Someone you know?
Absolutely. Miss Petronia and my father were good friends. Back in the day, she would often bring Clorand over to play, but then...
Let's not get off topic. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Responding to Egeria's call, a number of warriors followed Casiodor into battle against the monsters. This group of warriors, under Casiodor's leadership, became known as the Marashosei Hunters. Yet, As Fontaine entered an era of peace, their work gradually became obsolete. The Marechaussee Phantom, originally an association made up of hunters, eventually came to be predominantly comprised of Melusines.
Ah, I see. That explains why most of the people in the script have forgotten the hunters or think of them as nothing more than a legend.
Is that really a bad thing, though? It can get tough always being the one shouldering everyone's expectations.
Depends on who you ask, I suppose. If the name of the organization no longer commands respect, investigative work is bound to suffer.
Speaking of investigations, which problem should we tackle first? Monsters or evil sorcerer?
I vote monsters. That's the main duty of the hunters, right? We can come back to the sorcerer later.
Well said, Miss Farina. Plus, if the sorcerers really are the masterminds behind this whole thing, defeating the monsters could give us some clues on their intentions as well.
What about you, partner? What do you think? It's decided that...
All right. After some discussion, you decide to turn...
Let's take a look around, like that guy said.
You there! Outsiders, halt!
Who's there?
An armored man approaches you. He has a tall, muscular build and a determined expression in his eyes. Just one look, and you can tell he's fought in his fair share of battles. Although he's trying his best to conceal his current state, his uneven gait and the sweat dripping down his forehead make it obvious that he's been wounded and is in serious pain. I'm the captain of the guard. I saw you sneaking around the city earlier, so I'll only ask this once. State your purpose, or it's off to the dungeons for the lot of you.
Wow, it's been a while since someone's been this suspicious of us.
I said talk, not whisper between yourselves.
Have you ever heard of the Marechaussee Hunters?
Marechaussee Hunters? Ha! That fairy tale, you mean? What, you expect me to believe you're one of them? Using your knowledge of medicine.
I'm a doctor by trade. Please let me redress your wound. You don't have to.
The man appears somewhat disgruntled at having been exposed, but soon relents and raises his leg for you to take a better look. He allows you to apply a poultice of specialized medicine to the wound, and it appears to bring him much relief. The tension in his brow eases. All right. Guess you lot might actually be real Marechaussee hunters after all. In any case, you've successfully treated my wound. So, what do you want to know?
Do you know where we can find the monsters, or the other guards who are fighting them?
He informs you of the various locations where monsters have appeared. He looks in that general direction with a pained gaze, as if a thin, invisible thread is pulling on his wound. Some of our new recruits have never even dealt with a petty thief, and now they're out there fighting monsters. if it weren't for this cursed leg.
Oh, please, sir. Don't get too worked up. You need to focus on your recovery. Just leave the monsters to us. We're Marechaussee hunters, after all.
Hearing you say that, a glimmer of hope flashes in his eyes. But it disappears almost as quickly as it came. Those monsters aren't easy to deal with. But if you insist on going, I won't stop you either. I just hope all the guards will be able to come back to their families alive. I wish you the best of luck.
Based on what the captain said, the monster should be right up ahead. Let's go. Hopefully we're not too late.
As you approach the battlefield, you see numerous people lying by the side of the road. They appear to be dressed like guards. Their faces are filled with desperation and terror. Some are screaming and cursing in vain, as if still trying to banish the monstrosities they saw from their minds. A few of the wounded look up at you in shock and disbelief. "Quick, leave this place. Turn around and don't look back," they yell.
This is the place he mentioned.
You see broken irons. All the signs point to one thing. A true...
Be on your guard, everyone. The monster...
Before you can finish your sentence, you hear rustling sounds from the surrounding bushes. The monsters have emerged. They close in on you without fear. You get the impression that, in their bloodthirsty eyes, you're just another meal for...
A little help here. This thing wants...
Your battle round...
Bombs away!
The next battle round begins now.
Time to shine!
Stop that!
Attack! That's the way. Umbrella warfare, I guess. This one's got your name on it.
The monsters let out a terrifying roar of anger and resentment. Before...
Oh, thank goodness it's over.
We're lucky the Marechaussee Hunter class came with all those preset skill points.
I never knew the photometer even determines the amount of...
Just as you begin to celebrate your victory, a suspicious lump on the ground catches your attention.
A suspicious...
I walk up to it, crouch down, and begin to carefully examine it. I've still got my right glove on, so it should be fine for me to touch it, right?
As you investigate the mound, you discover that the exposed... With the monsters gone, the small protrusion now awaits your discovery.
Ooh, it's a treasure chest!
With everyone's help, even without opening it, you can tell from the mora and jewels scattered around the chest
Makes Yes, we worked hard for this.
I can understand your excitement, Paimon, but think about it. Doesn't it seem like there are people out there who need this treasure?
Yeah. Think about all the people suffering in the capital. Or all those guards who got...
Wait, is that how it works? Paimon thought since we were the ones to...
Well, let's put it this way. Any decision you make during a role-playing game can impact the future.
But would the people really believe us? It's hard enough for us to prove we're Marcia said.
That's definitely something we should consider. Maybe we can come up with...
Well, if donating it could cause that much trouble, why don't we use it to buy some gear and fill up on good food?
Looks like you're facing a difficult choice. Well, it's getting late.
Wow.
I'm not sure if it's because I'm having so much fun with you all, or because the story is...
Here, here.
Yeah, that won't work for me either. Lynette will give...
I understand how you feel, Navia, but we have to change venues for the next part of the story anyway.
Huh?
There's a special note for the GM at the end of this section that says to proceed to an indoor set for the next part of the script.
Whoa. They really pulled out all the stops?
Well, even if we end the game for the day, we can still stay a little longer and hear Cloran finish her story.
Something to...
That's just a coincidence, okay? Besides, the Paimon not... And anyway, Paimon really does want to...
Well...
It's nothing. I appreciate the concern, but it's all in the past. My earliest memories are of living with Master. According to her, she saved me from certain people of ill repute. My birth parents had left me behind some time before that.
What a heavy beginning for a life story.
Master was a fascinating individual, if inexperienced in the ways of raising children. My first ever toy was a short sword. Although I suppose it wasn't so much a toy as something Master removed from her waist and handed to a noisy child in need of distraction.
Oh, wait, so she handed an actual sword to a child? Isn't that dangerous? Did you hurt yourself?
Of course I did. I cut my palm and bled quite a lot. But Master was not concerned. She just stood there and casually lectured me about it. See, that's what you get for not holding the sword properly, she told me. She then crouched down next to me and said, "Give me your hand. I'll teach you to bandage this wound. After that, it's time to learn how to truly hold a blade."
Excuse me for asking this, Clorand, but how old were you exactly when all this happened?
Probably around, 3, give or take.
3? Isn't that when most kids are still struggling to hold a fork?
As I said, Master was rather inexperienced in the ways of raising children. She believed trial and error was the best way to teach a child what they're capable of.
I'm not so sure this is a question of experience.
I didn't see anything wrong with her ways at the time. And anyway, children don't get to choose how they're raised. Oh, she did bring me back a pet from Liyue once. It was a Geovishap hatchling.
A Geovishap hatchling? For a pet? That seems even more dangerous.
What she said was this: make sure to get along, you two. If you really can't agree on something, just settle it with a fight. Whoever loses is the real pet.
And how old were you when this happened?
5.
Well, did you win?
No, I lost.
So, you're saying you actually became the Geovishap's pet?
Yes, but only for a week. By the end of that week, I defeated it in combat, and we've shared a cordial relationship ever since.
That really doesn't sound like the kind of childhood someone should have.
Later on, I gradually understood that Master most likely didn't know any other way to raise a child. She was a marechaussee hunter, but I never heard her bring up her own parents. Thanks to her, I learned how to navigate the forest by the age of 6, and could hunt monsters in the wild by myself the year after that. Even though the training she subjected me to was strict, she always made sure to take me traveling when she had the time. We met many of her friends during those days. That was also how I met Mr. Callis and his family.
I still remember the first time we met. You were too scared to join our picnic and hid behind Ms. Petronia the whole time.
I still hadn't really met many children my age at that time, so I didn't know how to interact with others.
After that, though, you started coming over a lot. You loved challenging people to shooting competitions, remember? I don't think many members of the Spina ever beat you in one of those.
I had a lot of fun during those days.
I enjoyed them too. Oh, do you remember that one time we went exploring around the Spina together? We overheard Papa call your master Fontaine's Protector of Justice. We tried to pretend like we never heard anything, but you nearly let it slip that one time.
Protector of Justice? Oh, wait, you mean that vigilante hero from 20 years ago? The one who is always active at night?
Yep, that would be her. She often would put on a black cloak and go out at night. I never knew where she went or what she was doing. Until, like Navia said, we overheard the truth from Mr. Callis that night.
20 years ago, huh? I still remember the guards leaving all kinds of witness reports about her on Nervalette's desk.
My apologies.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. You had nothing to do with it. And anyway, everything she did was for a good cause. Although, calling herself the Protector of Order was a bit much. Especially when she deliberately operated outside the law.
Huh? When did the Protector of Justice become the Protector of Order?
Oh, she had a bunch of code names. I heard she would just come up with a name on the spot whenever she was asked. Later on, she probably got sick of answering those questions and decided to stick to just two. The Protector of Justice and the Protector of Order.
That sounds like her, all right. I bet she forgot which of the two she'd use by the time she got back each night.
Well, she certainly sounds like a fascinating individual. With her strong sense of justice, it's no surprise her student followed in her footsteps.
It's true. I always wanted to become like her. Someone powerful, independent, and with a strong sense of conviction. But... She suddenly disappeared the night I turned 10 years old.
Disappeared? What happened?
I have no idea. She didn't even leave a note. I was never able to find out where she went. That night, I was celebrating my birthday at Navia's house. But Master never came to pick me up. When I returned home on my own, it was to an empty house. When she still didn't appear after a few days, I went to Mr. Callis's house to ask about her whereabouts. But he only shook his head.
Papa probably didn't know either. I know he sent a few people to investigate the matter in secret, but they never found any credible leads.
Don't worry, I understand. To be perfectly honest, given Master's personality and way of doing things, it all made a lot of sense. If I had to guess, I'd say she probably used it as an opportunity to force me to become independent. Just like how, when a litter of kittens reaches a certain age, the mother willingly leaves them behind.
Were you upset, Clorand?
I was at first, but not anymore. I don't believe Master would suddenly disappear for no reason. There must have been something she just had to do.
Well, despite everything, you still managed to follow in her footsteps and become the greatest champion duelist in all of Fontaine. You're practically a living symbol of law and justice.
I suspect my position would be far too by the books for her. Master always did whatever she pleased. But you're right. I suppose I do take after her in some ways.
Who knew Clorand had such an interesting past? I never had the chance to ask her about it before. I wonder... if Clorand's master were the champion duelist back then, would that duel against Mr. Callus have gone differently? Oh no. Judging by the atmosphere, Clorand and Navi are probably thinking something similar. The mood just got super awkward all of a sudden.
Well, anyway. Would you look at the time? It's getting dark, so we should probably call it a day for real this time. If we keep talking like this, we really will be here all night.
I had a great time today, Miss Clorand. Thank you for being our GM.
Anytime.
The script was good, but I've got to say, your childhood stories were even better. Hey, you should tell us more about that fight against the Geo-Bishop sometime. Maybe your master was onto something.
You could be right.
What does she mean, onto something? I certainly don't know any 5-year-olds who want to fight a bishop in their spare time. Guess I'll head back as well. I need to save my energy if I want to continue enjoying the story tomorrow.
You're that excited to hear about my fight with the bishop?
I was talking about the script.
Just between the two of us, could you tell me what it was like to be the Geo-Bishop?
It was nothing special, really. Geo-Bishops don't understand the concept of a pet. So, basically, it just headbutted me whenever I entered its territory.
And that...
Yeah, it hurt. What, something you want to experience for...
Oh...
Someone was detected at your front door. Gee, I wonder who it could be.
Welcome to the Rag and Bone Shop. Of all essential provisions. I don't get it. How come nobody likes math?
Well, this might be a problem. Ow. Okay. Can't go that way.